All right, guys, time for Scene Stealers. You know what we do here, guys. For each movie we done for the season, what we do is go back and tell you who stole our heart, whether it be man, woman, animal, a wooden laconic, necromancers. We're doing it all. So our first film of the season was Joker, and guess who that was? Mr. Joaquin Phoenix.
And we did The Invention of Lion, Jennifer Gardner.
Howard the Duck, Chip Zine.
Candyman, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II.
People Under the Stairs, BQA, Brandon Quinton Adams.
Ghostbusters Trilogy, James McDonald Reviews put Harold Ramis on the board.
Ghostbusters 2. I just wanted to say it.
Oh, okay.
Because you crapped on it earlier. Die Hard, Alan Rickman.
And The Matrix Quadrilogy, Neil Patrick Harris and Lawrence Fishburne.
They killed it, man. And last but not least, The French Dispatch, Jeffrey Wright. Which brings us to Being There. Durden, give me one honorable mention, and I'll give you one.
All right, my first honorable mention of 2 goes to Melvin Douglas as Benjamin Rand, because I think a large part of the suspension of disbelief that the plot relied on Melvin Douglas's performance to set the tone as an intelligent person that could believably misunderstand what Chance was saying in all of these scenes.
Yeah, well, isn't that what any businessman is? A gardener.
And never a moment was I like, okay, that there's no possible way that this dude would misunderstand what he's saying to this degree and put this much faith in him. I don't know how he made it work, which that's what makes his performance so great, but he did. From the dinner scene, it wasn't just like a lot of characters. I think a lot of actors, if they were that character, I think I would have been frustrated with the dialogue and just the disbelief. But he was so funny. Now, Chauncey, I don't want to hear anything about the bedroom upstairs. That's where I'm going. Like the back and forth banter between them two was so good. And really, like, as great as Peter Sellers was in those scenes, it's really Melvin Douglas that had to carry those moments to make you believe that what was happening could actually be happening. So Melvin Douglas for sure is an honorable mention.
I 100% concur with you. Melvin Douglas, for the same reasons you said, even because, again, you have to understand Peter Sellers' character, again, as you just mentioned, while he is brilliant in what he does, his words are short. His is like almost close-ended answers most of the time. And if the person doesn't, on the other end, is not doing their job, then it doesn't make sense. And also, we spoke with Nick McLean, and he told us, working with this guy, here's this legendary actor coming in, and he was like, nah, guys, let's just do it. And he actually was towards death in the film, which is even crazier. Yeah. And I'm just sitting, like, I'm thinking about, listen, from the time he's laying in the bed, then he's sitting in the chair. And you know what? One of the things we didn't bring up there, I know you meant to write it down, and I meant to write it down. One of my favorite scenes is them walking with the two people, with their butlers pushing the wheelchairs behind them. Like that made me think of French Dispatch yet again, like the wheelchair scene.
How crazy is it that the movie is about a person that watches television and film to escape their own reality? And
that's exactly
as
what
far
we're
as
doing.
Melvin Douglas's performance in the film, he's acting in a film that's practically foreshadowing his own imminent demise.
That's life imitating art, and art imitating life.
You're like living your future, your near future.
I've lived it, Dottie.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So that was. You have another honorable mention?
I just had to give an honorable mention to Shirley MacLaine because I slept on her my whole life, and now I want to sleep on her for the rest of my life.
Don't forget now, she still is with Ben, and she's been pretty much cuckolded and groomed to be with Chance. And again, she's with Chance at the benefit. She's playing with the girl. She's like, oh my goodness. The girl was like, oh my goodness, he's so cute. Can I get like? And then like that masturbation scene came out of nowhere. She's like, I have to let you know I'm a little bit nervous. And to me, that's the brilliance of acting. Sometimes, if you're nervous, let the actress or the actor play up on their nervousness and say that, because then what the audience is expecting this person to not. They were like, you're probably going to have to go in there and seduce them and then masturbate 17 times. She was like, what are we doing here? What kind of film is this? They're like, she's like, I'm nervous. Good. Go with that.
Oh, no, Chauncey, where did you go?
Yeah. And when she said that, you saw her
really
get into it.
Go.
She was all on it, and it was beautiful. Like, she's on there doing what she's doing, she grabs his leg, and even for a moment, you're like,
no, don't.
And
to hear Nick McLean say that she isn't a sexual person by nature, it only speaks further to her ability to get outside, to put herself to the side, to let the character, whatever's best for the character, happen.
So I agree. Now, I mean, I don't think this is I think we got time for it. I just want to go. I mean, we both know what we're going to say here. I'm not in your head. Peter Sellers is not because he's not with us anymore. This is one of those timeless performances that goes in a time capsule because I don't think it will ever be recreated. It's something that one of those, like as we said, Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr. He was meant to play that. Joe Clark was. Morgan Freeman was meant to play that. There are certain roles that are meant for certain people.
Bruce Willis, John
McClane. Yes, there are certain roles that are, you know what I'm saying, that are Thomas Seidel.
Yeah, Robert Partridge.
Yes, so certain roles go to certain people at certain times for the things that they need to do. So what he did was brilliant, and I know exactly, and I agree with him 100%. I hated that they let him break character on screen. Now maybe some special 20-year DVD release later. Okay, do not do that to this person who you not let break character the entire time. You cannot do this to this man.
Somebody who exercised such extreme discipline.
It's like the studio, like, no, I love that man. No, we got to keep that in there. No, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, it posthumously, it is it's a sweet, tender-hearted moment to kind of see him as himself, and it also speaks to the volume of, like, because if that's the only movie you've seen Peter Sellers in, you would just think that's how he is. Like a lot of people, when Christian Bale played Patrick Bateman in American Psycho, even his co-stars thought that he was like a robotic actor. They questioned his acting ability because he was so. That's who that was. And I think if without that outtake at the end, people would just judge Peter Sellers based on that and think that he was just a wooden actor. So it was cool to see that after the fact. But yeah, it does. Like, I'm kind of like torn on that. Like it's a sweet moment, but
even when I saw it, I was like, "What?
Yeah,
no, don't do that to me, man!" Like. Just don't do that because again, like I say, he has joined the list for me. Not only he's getting ready to join this wall, he's joined the Only for You club for me. Like this character was only for you. We said Steve Carell could have did the best job at recreating it, but I would have never wanted to see anybody else other than Peter Sellers do this. So,
all right, I agree with you on Peter Sellers. He's my scene stealer as well. I wrote a paragraph of what I enjoyed about his performance, and I also found an IMDb review that put it perfectly as far as like what makes his performance great. What I had to say is his commitment to such subtle nuances, and the character is easily what makes this movie as great as it is. He manages to bring a strange charisma to a robotic performance. The way he smiles, like he's imitating a smile he saw on TV, but doesn't really know what he's smiling for. He just knows one should smile in a situation, so he does. Sellers can convey something as complex as that in just the way he smiles. Similarly, the way he says yes so confidently, but also like a question at the same time. Like when the president's like, spring then summer, yes. Winter then fall, yes. And then when the Russian guy is talking to him and assumes he knows Russian because he smiles at him the same way he smiles at any other time. The funny thing is that Chance probably understands Russian as much as he understands English, or at least the concept of what somebody is saying to him in those languages.
What's your name again? Oh.
Now, this is what IMDb user Hitchcock said, perfectly put, that in a review titled "He Liked to Watch." Said, "I was amazed after all those Pink Panther films what a wonderful actor Peter Sellers was. This allows him to stretch himself. He is Chauncey Gardiner, a man suddenly bereft of his existence, out on his own. His simplistic view of the world is based on the television that he watches endlessly when he is not doing his job. There is the wonderful scene where he is mugged and he uses his remote control to try to get rid of the muggers. The script gently moves him into a tremendous position of power that he doesn't even understand, and yet it keeps him dignified, not a comic buffoon as he may have been portrayed today. Even when the chariots come crashing down, he has the gentle soul. What we get with him is the genuine article, and since he didn't know how to exploit, he can't really be seen as anything but the soulful fellow he is. Excellent portrayal of a character." And I think that was that
That's
said it all. Yeah.
I put it this way for the kids of the 90s and the 2000s. Will Ferrell is brilliant, and I like what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Sellers is brilliant, and I like what he does. There's different, but Will Ferrell couldn't have done this.
No.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with saying that.
I don't want to say he couldn't,
but it wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. But I wouldn't have wanted to see Peter Sellers in Talladega Nights either.
Now the way you're saying these things though, and it's really making me want to live in a world where I would love to, just out of morbid curiosity, see what Peter Sellers would do as Ricky Bobby and what Will Ferrell would do as Chauncey Gardner.
Well, maybe one day we'll get a budget to make that happen. So guys, let us know what you think. But other than that, hey, let's give him a clap and rest in peace. Welcome to the board. Hey, actually, he's coming to the first Blackboard.
Yeah,
Peter Sellers, man. Hey. You're a gem, brother.
Might get to give that message to Raphael after all.
All right, Peter.